What if Doomslayer was in Demon Slayer? What would the Eternal Demon Hunter do in Demon Slayer? What changes would he make to the story? One thing we can be sure of is that Demon Zan would be in trouble. Doomguy would be capable of killing our dear Nezuko since he doesn't spare any evil entity. After all, how did Doomguy end up in Demon Slayer? Look, during a hunt against new remaining demons, in the middle of a battle, Doomguy ends up entering a portal that sends him to another dimension, or rather, to another universe, the universe of Demon Slayer. Now, Doomguy finds himself in a dense forest where several Oni spiders surround and attack him, but Doom, with the BFG 9000, quickly deals with them, wiping them out completely. Doomslayer sees Zenitsu fighting against those Oni spiders, his tactical codex visor detecting the weaknesses of the Onis. Doomguy knows exactly how to put an end to this spider epidemic. He runs toward the spider Oni that was controlling them. Using his sword, Curseable Sword, he defeats the Oni with a single blow. Don't tell me you thought Doomslayer would be the one who needed a Nichiren to exterminate the Onis. Look, this energy sword is capable of killing almost any enemy, even barons and tyrants with a single blow. We're talking about high-ranking demons. The Crucible is forged with pure hell energy used by the Night Sentinels. It's not only capable of annihilating, but it actually annihilates demonic entities with a regeneration level far above the Onus, like the Titan demons, which are bigger than castles and still fall with a single blow. Even though the Crucible's energy isn't solar, its absolute destructive power would be more than enough to completely nullify the regeneration of the Onus. In other words, no head, no body, not a single living cell left. With Zenitsu lying on the ground after the battle against the spider Onus, Doomguy runs ahead to find help. Further ahead in the forest looking for help, Doomguy finds Tanjiro fighting against Rui's bloody webs. The battle is fierce, and Rui soon throws his bloody webs at Doomguy. But the hunter has enhanced resistance thanks to his armor, making him able to withstand concentrated energy blasts capable of destroying entire cities. In fact, his speed and reflexes are not far behind his high resistance. He can dodge lasers and attacks in milliseconds from just centimeters away with hypersonic reaction time. Doomguy not only dodges the Oni's bloody webs but also cuts them with his Curseable Sword and decapitates him in the end, finishing the battle. However, there is still an enemy lurking. His codex detects Nezuko, an Oni, a being he has been facing since he arrived in that universe. Doomslayer chases the Oni to exterminate her, but is stopped by Tomioka. However, the battle against the Hashira doesn't last long because Tomioka's sword is split in half by the Curseable Sword, which is made of pure energy. The Water Hashira doesn't know who this Oni hunter is and is knocked out by Doom's strike. Doom, he uses his freezing weapon to stop Nezuko from escaping, finally exterminating the Oni. As much as this is extremely sad, there is nothing that can be done about it, precisely because Doomslayer never forgives his enemies. Even after witnessing Tanjiro's fight and seeing Nezuko's involvement, he knows he can't trust demons, especially after everything they've done to humanity, at least in his universe. So the question remains, what will happen to Doomguy from here on out with Nezuko dead, one of the main and most important characters in the story of Demon Slayer? Before I tell you, take this moment to like the video if you're enjoying the story, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel with the notification bell turned on. Legend has it that only those who subscribe to the channel will receive powerful equipment for the battle against the Onis, just like our dear Doomguy. Now look, silence settles over the forest. We only hear Tanjiro's crying. With the arrival of Shinobu and Kanao, the hunters begin to interrogate Doomslayer, who identifies himself as a demon hunter. Already used to traveling through dimensions and worlds, Doomslayer calmly and directly explains who he is and his goal: to wipe out all demons. Having experienced Doomguy's power firsthand, Tomioka thinks it's important to recruit Doomguy to help in the battle against the Onis. Taking the hunter to Buyashiki, the leader of the Oni Hunters organization, Kaguya explains to Dung that he can return to his dimension if he finds Muzan, the king of the Onis, the one who has knowledge about the Oni that could send him back home. Assigned to go with Rengoku to the Mugen train, Tanjiro has a conversation with Doomguy, better understanding his motivation and actions. Now Tanjiro knows that the path to destroy Muzan will be shorter, but much more bloody. Without Tanjiro's fragile hesitation in sparing his sister, the mission is now clear: annihilate all demons without exception. On the Mugen train, Enmu, the lower rank one, tries to put everyone to sleep. Dungai does not fall under such a spell. His mind is shielded by centuries of torment and fury. He has seen everything you can imagine. The nightmare created by Enmu is nothing. The Oni's attack fails immediately. When the flesh tentacles emerge from the train, Dung simply opens fire with his super shotgun, blasting apart the Oni's demonic fusion with the train. Quickly, Dungai runs toward the lower moon. As he moves through the train cars, the flesh tentacles attack him as well as the passengers. With his shoulder weapon, Dungai sets fire to all the tentacles created by the Oni. Attention otaku, you're living like an NPC. You wake up tired, procrastinate everything, and feel like trash at the end of the day. Another month drags on and nothing changes. Stop making excuses for failure. Let me introduce you to my ultimate personal system for organization and productivity, which turns your routine into a personal growth RPG. You'll level up while having fun, earning coins and rewards for completed tasks. This system is based on methods used by CEOs and high-performance athletes like GTD, Eisenhower, Pomodoro, and much more. It's fun, it's addictive, and it works. Have you wasted too much time already? Click the link in the description and start leveling up your life as a true protagonist. In front of the lower moon, when Enmu, the demon of illusions, tried to manipulate Doomslayer's mind, the hunter simply activated his combat visor, quickly analyzing the patterns of illusion attacks and crushing the demon with precise blows, breaking the illusion spell. Without the need to surrender to sleep, Doomslayer carried out his relentless cleansing of the train, leaving the passengers alive. With Enmu's extermination, the train derails. Rengoku takes his position, ready to protect everyone. That's when he appears, Akaza, Upper Moon 3. The Upper Moon points at Doomslayer, saying that the hunter could be an extraordinary demon. With the abilities witnessed by the Upper Moon, he wishes to fight for eternity against Dungai, but the Eternal Hunter does not respond. He simply activates the Unmaker, a weapon of pure energy, forbidden in the infernal realms. He fires and the Upper Moon feels the impact. His arm is obliterated before regenerating. Rengoku charges into the attack, just like in the original story, but now with Doom by his side. The flame style and the strength of a warrior from another universe collide with the Upper Moon in a symphony of destruction. The Upper Moon smiles, excited by the battle, until Doom uses the meat hook from the super shotgun to pull him by the torso, slamming him to the ground like a hunk of meat. Akaza regenerates, of course, but it's not fast enough. Combining Rengoku's flame-breathing technique with precise shots from the ballista, Doomgai forces Akaza to use every drop of its regeneration power. Akaza, fighting seriously, is as fast as Rengoku and Doomgai together, even though both have incredible speed. However, Akaza is caught off guard when Doom's curseable sword cuts its arm and prevents the Oni from regenerating. Akaza realizes that Doomgai is not just another ordinary hunter. Quickly, Akaza tries to eliminate the weakest link in the fight so it doesn't lose to the hunters. Akaza wants to eliminate the one who is clearing the way for the true hunter, the Decapitator. So Akaza targets Rengoku. Soon, when Rengoku is mortally wounded, Doom enters Berserk mode. The Slayer's eyes glow red. He moves at an absurd speed. While Rengoku in his final moments holds Akaza back, giving Doomgai an opening, the Eternal Hunter crushes the timeline. Akaza's skull against the ground, firing the missile at the demon, and finally driving his curseable sword straight into Akaza's neck. It's a brutal and bloody scene. At the end of the intense battle, Rengoku dies in Tanjiro's arms, with Akaza annihilated. Muzan feels something he hasn't experienced in centuries: true fear. He knows that if Doom killed Akaza, he can kill anyone, and unlike the hunters, Doom doesn't want to save anyone. He doesn't hesitate, he doesn't forgive. In the entertainment district, with his tactical visor, Doom manages to find Daki. Soon, with his Praetor armor equipped with retractable thrusters, he covers the distance in seconds, surpassing the speed of sound. He moves across the rooftops like thunder incarnate. Daki quickly throws her deadly ribbons at the Eternal Hunter. However, he cuts and dodges them with ease. Daki, fearing Doomslayer, the Oni, calls her brother Yutaro, who unleashes his powerful poisons against the hunter. However, the Oni's attacks don't even tickle Doomslayer, since his armor can withstand impacts from lasers capable of destroying entire cities. While Uzu and the others arrive to help in the battle, Doomguy would already be finishing off Daki with his curseable sword while dodging the attacks from both Upper Moon's 6 demons. In his universe, he has already demonstrated reflexes capable of dodging bullets and lasers just centimeters from impact. Doomguy uses his arbalest weapon, his shoulder cannon that fires explosive shards capable of pulverizing flesh and bone. While Yutaro was regenerating, the hunter quickly moves close enough to have a chance to decapitate him, and that's exactly what he does. Notice that in the original storyline, the Oni siblings need to be decapitated at the same time. Here, however, with the Doom sword, he manages to completely stop the demon's regeneration. So, he manages to exterminate Daki without needing to exterminate Yutaro, and vice versa. That's when big changes happen. Doomguy makes it so that Tanjiro doesn't need to damage his sword fighting Yutaro, so he doesn't need to go to the Swordsmith village. And without his presence, the Swordsmith village would be completely annihilated by Upper Moons 5 and 4. Also, without awakening the Mark, the Hashiras, Mushiro, and Mitsuri would die in the Swordsmith village because of this factor. With that, Muzan is about to wipe out the entire Demon Slayer Corps, and Muzan will also come after you if you don't like this video. Pay attention. Muzan starts gathering information at all costs to locate the headquarters of the Demon Slayer Corps so he can wipe them out once and for all. Interestingly, Kaguya was already expecting this. Knowing this, he gathers the Hashiras in training, waiting for Muzan for the final battle. When he arrives at the core, Muzan is caught off guard by Ubuyashiki's trap and poisoned by Tamayo, soon taking the Demon Slayers to the Infinity Castle. A crazy twist happens. Nakimi separates the Demon Slayers from Doomslayer, putting our Eternal Slayer in a dangerous situation. In a room where Dung faces Doma, one of Muzan's strongest upper moons, Doomslayer did not wait. He activated the Flame Belch, his shoulder cannon that launched a burst of liquid fire directly against Duma's ice, Doma. The Oni counterattacks with a Lotus Freezing Powder technique, but Doomslayer dodged it with his superhuman reflexes. Using the aerial slow motion dash, manipulating time by fractions of a second, Doomslayer moves so fast that the attacks seem static. The plasma rifle was activated with the microwave beam, trapping Doma in an explosion of concentrated static energy. As his body heated up and began to crack, Doomslayer fired the arbalest. Piercing him with the explosive bolt, Doma tried to rebuild himself, but before he could, Doomslayer ended the battle with the Crucible Sword. Driving the energy sword into his skull as the final verdict, however, the greatest jewel of skills was just beginning. Kokushibo appears wielding his demonic flesh katana, unleashing thousands of cutting blades with his moon-breathing technique. Doomslayer responds with his super shotgun. Equipped with the meat hook at insane speed, he latches onto the Upper Moon's body, flying straight while dodging the blades as if he were dancing between bullets. On impact, he activates the Blood Punch, a punch that unleashes shockwaves that crack the dimension around him. Kokushibo regenerates instantly, grazing Doom with a cut, but the Praetor armor absorbs and converts part of the damage into energy. Doom switches to the chain gun and turret mode, spinning with surgical precision, 1,000 bullets per second. Kokushibo blocks many, but not all. Kokushibo activates his final form. Doomslayer activates Berserk mode. In a red haze, he tears apart the Oni's body punch by punch. The battle is insane. Thanks to the Doom's armor, he manages to withstand Kokushibo's tremendous speed and power. With the enemy immobilized, Doom uses the BFG 9000 utilizing the Emerald Project of Pure Energy, which expands like an artificial sun. Consuming everything in the field of view, Kokushibo tries to use his sword to block the attack. However, it evaporates before touching the beam. Upper Moon 1 is undone, atomized, eternally silenced. While Doom was exterminating the two most powerful Upper Moons, the Hashiras and the rest of the Demon Slayers defeated the remaining Upper Moons and all ran toward Muzan. There are no more obstacles to the end of the war between humans and demons. In front of the Demon Slayers stood only the primordial demon, Muzan Kibutsuji, who was furious and launching attacks in all directions. Doomslayer in response activates his full arsenal. Plasma rifle, rocket launcher, super shotgun, heavy cannon, ballista, and unmaker are used in sequence, switching in milliseconds. Each shot is fatal, each weapon hits simultaneously. The armor draws energy from the environment to keep shields active and reload ammunition. Dung is a storm of destruction. Muzan tries to escape the chaos unleashed by Dung, but the hunter using the aerial hook catches Muzan with the meat hook and drags him back to the battlefield. In the air, Dung spins his body and activates Cursible Sword one last time, using his tactical visor to locate all of Muzan's vital organs. He cuts them and finally decapitates Muzan, the king of the Onis, once and for all. In this final stretch, everyone survives and Dung manages to return to his dimension to continue his mission thanks to the demon who was looking for him to continue their fight. So, did you enjoy the story? Remember to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the video I picked right here. See you there, otaku!